Ever feel like you're saving money at Costco, but still spending more? You walk in for one item, you leave with a full cart and a receipt that averages 62% above your list. That gap between what you planned and what you spent is not an accident. Costco has turned the promise of a deal into a system engineered to keep your cart full, and it starts before you even walk through the door. Before anyone grabs a cart at Costco, there is already money on the table. The price of admission, $60 for a basic membership or $120 for the executive tier, does not just unlock the warehouse doors. It underwrites the entire promise of lower prices. About 30% of Costco's annual income comes from these membership fees alone. That means the deals on the shelves are not just good business, they are subsidized by the collective buy-in of millions of members. This fee structure does more than pad the bottom line. It creates a quiet pressure to make the membership pay off. Psychologists call this the sunk cost effect, but most people just call it getting their money's worth. Once you have paid up front, every trip to the warehouse feels like a mission to recoup the investment, whether you need another case of seltzer or not. The result? Shoppers visit more often, fill their carts a little higher, and rarely question whether the savings are real or just part of the membership math. Costco's business model leans into this psychology. The company keeps its gross margin razor thin, typically between 11 and 13%, far lower than most supermarkets. Many best-selling items, like rotisserie chickens and hot dogs, are sold at or near cost. These are the so-called loss leaders. On paper, they look like money losers, but the math only works because the membership fees cover the shortfall. In effect, every member's annual payment acts as a discount buffer, letting Costco price certain staples below what any regular grocery store could survive on. That is why you will spot deals that seem almost too good to be true, because for the product itself, they are. The real profit engine is the steady stream of membership renewals, not the markup on a pallet of toilet paper. For the shopper, this flips the usual retail equation. Instead of the store earning more as you buy more, Costco's main profit comes from you simply walking in with a paid card. But once you are through those doors, the urge to justify the fee takes over, and the cycle of spending begins. Sunk cost bias is not just a theory, it is baked into every receipt, whether you notice it or not. Bulk pricing at Costco is the holy grail of warehouse shopping, or at least that is how it feels when you are standing in front of a mountain of paper towels. The giant pack promises a lower cost per roll, and the price tag does the heavy lifting, a 28% drop per roll compared to the smaller supermarket pack. It looks like easy money saved. But the math that matters is not always the math you see on the shelf. Let us break it down with a real-world example. Say you pick up a 12-pack of paper towels for $19.99. That comes out to about $1.67 per roll, which beats the $2.30 you would pay for a single roll at the corner store. So far, so good. But here is where the numbers start to play tricks. According to a study of nearly 5,000 receipts, shoppers who stock up at Costco spend, on average, 12% more on paper goods overall, even though the per-roll price is lower. The reason is simple. Buying in bulk nudges you to buy more than you actually need. That extra pack in the cart is not just a backup, it is an extra $20 out of your wallet. This is not just about paper towels. The same pattern shows up with snacks, freezer foods, even vitamins. The sticker says you are saving, but your receipt often tells another story. Economists call this unit price illiteracy, when shoppers focus on the price per item but forget to check the total and factor in what might go unused. It is easy to fall for the deal and ignore the risk of waste, especially with perishables or items you do not use often. A family that uses 2 rolls a week will finish a 12-pack in a month and see real savings. But if usage drops, those extra rolls might sit in a closet, collecting dust, or worse, get tossed when you run out of space. The rule of thumb: always check the per unit price, but do not stop there. Ask yourself, will I actually use all of this before it goes bad or takes over my pantry? Sometimes the smartest deal is the one you leave on the shelf. At Costco, the real savings come from knowing your own habits and not letting the bulk math do all the talking. A trip through Costco starts with a cart that is almost comically oversized. There is a reason for that. The average Costco cart is nearly twice the volume of a standard supermarket basket. Pushing one makes a $300 haul look reasonable, not excessive. This is the first nudge. When the basket feels half empty, it is easier to justify adding just one more thing. But the real magic happens in the layout. Essentials like milk, eggs, and bread are never near the entrance. Instead, they are hidden at the very back of the warehouse. To reach them, shoppers wind through aisles packed with seasonal deals, electronics, and displays of high-margin goods. This path is no accident. The longer the route, the more opportunities to spot something tempting. Retail studies show that every extra minute spent in store increases the odds of an unplanned purchase. Costco's product selection is tightly edited. It is about 4,000 stock-keeping units per warehouse compared to over 30,000 at a typical grocery store. This limited variety reduces choice paralysis, but also means every item gets prime real estate. The effect is subtle. With fewer distractions, each product seems more important, and the pressure to make a decision grows. All of this adds up to what psychologists call cognitive load. When the brain is juggling shopping lists and bulk math, it is more likely to default to the simple answer, toss it in the cart, and move on. By the time you reach the back for that gallon of milk, the cart is already heavier, and so is the final bill. Free samples at Costco aren't just a treat, they are a sales engine. The moment a tray of teriyaki chicken or a sliver of cheese appears, the rules of rational shopping quietly exit. Retail analysts have clocked a 30% spike in sales for sampled products, and it's not hard to see why. A taste triggers the urge to buy, and most people grab the full-size pack, not the single portion they actually wanted. It's a tiny nudge, but multiplied across a warehouse, it adds up fast. Just beyond the samples, another force is at work, the decoy discount. Signs offer $1.99 off a $10 item, $5 off $50, or $10 off $100. This is not just generosity, it is classic pricing psychology. The middle offer sits there as bait, making the highest tier look like the obvious choice. Shoppers who might have settled for a small pack now feel pulled to spend more, all in the name of getting a better deal. In real-world A/B tests, these decoy tiers have lifted average spending by 12% compared to a single discount sign. The combination is subtle, but effective. Free samples open the door, and decoy discounts close the deal. By the time you reach the register, the cart is heavier, and so is your total. Most shoppers never notice the moment they cross from saving to splurging. It just feels like winning, right up until you check the receipt. The next step is to see these tactics in action, with a closer look at how they play out in live experiments. Receipts don't lie. When researchers sent archetype shoppers, everyone from the minimalist to the family stockpiler, into Costco with instructions to buy just one item, the checkout told a different story. The plan was simple: stick to a single product. The reality? The average shopper spent 62% more than intended. A cart meant for a $12 box of coffee beans rolled out with $19 worth of snacks, socks, or seasonal gadgets. Path tracking data revealed that even the most disciplined shoppers made detours through sample stations and end-cap displays, picking up extras along the way. It didn't matter if the original mission was milk or batteries. The final receipt almost always included something unplanned, and the overspend was consistent across age, income, and household size. These numbers turn the Costco effect from a hunch into hard evidence. The warehouse is engineered to make restraint the exception, not the rule. There is a way to walk out of Costco with your budget and your dignity intact. It starts with a cheat sheet hidden in plain sight, the price tag. A price that ends in 0.97 means it has been marked down from the regular corporate price. Prices that end in 0.00 are the standard. An asterisk in the corner signals the item will not be restocked. Former employees swear by this code, even though Costco never printed an official guide. Next, stick to a 5-step checklist. Make a list before you go. Eat before shopping to avoid hunger buys. Check the tag code for real markdowns. Focus on proven winners like Kirkland paper goods and pantry staples, and that famous $4.99 rotisserie chicken. Pause before grabbing seasonal or oversized perishables. The best deals reward steady habits, not impulse. With these rules, you can finally make Costco's system work for you instead of the other way around. Right now, every Costco trip is a masterclass in subtle persuasion. where deals feel like savings, but receipts tell a different story. As retail psychology gets sharper, so must we. The best bargain is knowing exactly when the bargain isn't real. What is your Costco strategy? Share it below.